guys, it's your girl Jahlicia, and I'm here with the coveted retwist video. Now in this video I will be showing you how I do my retwist and giving you all the tips and tricks of what I know as far as retwisting. Now hopefully it's more information than the last video, but like I told you guys, I felt the need to do this video over, so guess what? She did the video over. So if you're interested to see how I retwist, because I do show you a full demo, and if you're also interested to hear all the tips I want to give in reference to Locs, stay tuned because it's coming right up. Alright, now before we get into actually retwisting, let's start with clips and different types of clips. Now we all know the standard duckbill, which is what we use to section off our hair. There's the most popular, which is the regular retwist clip. And there's also a tiny clip like this that I use for the edges and things like that. Now there's also clips that come with teeth in it. I don't necessarily recommend those because it can pull out your hair very easily. But if you want to use those, be very careful when you take them out. Now as far as clip placement, I'm not going to touch too much onto that because I have an entire video set just on that. So I'll go ahead and leave the link in the description box if you want to know specifically about placing your clips. Now most of the information that I have in reference to retwisting is still the same from the last video, like I told you guys, but I felt the need to come back and refresh and show you guys again. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and section off my hair because I'm gonna go ahead and do the front row so that we can begin retwisting. Now I get a lot of questions from my new lockers. I'm sectioning off my hair in the back while I talk to you. Now I get a lot of questions from my new lockers and new lock stylists about direction of twisting, and the way how I feel about twisting direction is really still the same. I twist my hair in the direction that I'm going to wear it. When my hair was shorter and I had hair on this side, I would twist it based on whether I wanted a side part, a part over here, or a part over here. Twist direction is not as important as people like to make it out to be. Honestly, if you twist your hair this way today and this way next time, it's not going to damage the lock in any way. I know that a lot of people like to believe it's going to change the direction the way your lock goes, but that actually is not true. Or I have found that that's not true. Twisting your hair in a direction is just to keep your hair uniform and to keep you aware of which way you have your hair laying. But if you are a person that does your hair yourself, you notice that if you twist your hair the wrong way, it would lay incorrectly, and that's because you twist your hair in the way that you wear it exactly. So that's why I don't put as much emphasis on the direction as I do making sure the twists are neat and clean. So let's go on to retwisting. I'm gonna go ahead and start with this one right here because it's in the front and everybody can see that one. Now before I go ahead and start retwisting, I feel the need to go ahead and start talking about twisting gels, because I posted this on my Instagram the other day and a lot of people got in their feelings about it, but I stand behind that and I feel that it's correct, and a lot of locticians out there would stand behind me. If you use anything with wax, petroleum jelly, or any kind of cream wax on your hair, that is a big no-no for Locs because it damages the breathing ability of our scalp. Now while I don't recommend using a lot of jams and jellies that's out there in the market, I would say as a rule, try to use a gel that's water-based. I tell my client this and they find it funny, but if you use a white people gel, you know how they used to spike their hair? That works perfectly because they now come without alcohol. And the alcohol is what dries out your hair. So if you find a nice water-based gel with no alcohol, such as Eco Styler and things like that, you can try those out on your hair because you are able to wash them out on wash day. A lot of putties and edge control and things like that, you do not want to use that because you are not going to be able to wash that out as easy as you would a water-based product. So in reference to gel, I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys what to use, but those are my suggestions on what not to use. Now, the gel I'm using today, I'm not going to be showing you guys because it's not recommended by me, but it's just what I have on hand. So for the sake of this video, I'm just going to use it as a gel, but shh, it's my secret as to what it is. Okay. Now, when I retwist my client's hair, it's somewhat different than when I retwist my hair. When I retwist my client's hair, I always use a comb when retwisting, but with my hair, it's a lot more difficult to comb each lock. So what I do for my personal hair, because you know we have our hands up like this and it is a pain, is I comb the roots out of several locks at a time. Now, I think it goes without saying by saying your hair is damp, right? You never want to retwist your hair on dry hair. That's going to damage the root and it can cause your locks to break. So it always needs to be damp. Even if you're washing your hair and retwisting it the next day, you need to re-damp the scalp before you retwist. For my clients, I take individually, I section off, clean up the part, and then I comb the root, and then I start retwisting. So that's both methods. You can use whichever works fine for you, as long as you're combing out that hair, at least so it's not knotted at the root, because that's going to affect the lock. It's going to cause bumps and lumps. Ain't nobody got time for that. Alright, now once you have your hair, and again, I'm not looking in a mirror, so I'm not going to clean up my parts or anything, but that's self-explanatory. Clean up your parts and you comb your root, then you are ready for retwisting. Now you take your gel. I'm not sure if you can see that, and I'm not giving you the finger, but this is how much gel I use. The more gel you use, the more prone you are to flaking. The less gel you use, the more prone your hair is not to stay. So you definitely have to use a judgment on whether you're using too much or too less. The tip for whether you're using too much or too less gel is if you use too less gel when you retwist the hair, it's going to be dry. And if you use too much gel when you retwist the hair, you're going to see the white gel coming straight up out of the twist. When I do my clients, I usually twist their hair all the way going back, because that way I can maneuver it when it's styling time. So if you don't know whether you're going to wear a side part or a front part, or you want your hair to be versatile, I would suggest twisting your hair all the way back. Here is what not to do. Okay? The one thing you don't want to do when you're retwisting yourself or anybody's hair is this. Okay? You don't want to just use your finger and then pin and think you're done. You are not done. If your hair is not palm rolled, all the loose hair at the end of your lock is going to be a shabby mess. Okay? And also, when you finger coil like that, you can cause the hair to be twisted too tight. And this is how you know that you've twisted your hair too tight. Do you see how it's bubbling on itself? If your hair looks like this, it's too tight and you're going to damage your hair. A fresh retwist does not mean it's super tight and there's no loose hair out. That's crazy. A fresh retwist is when all the hair is in, like this. That's done. You palm roll right here. You see that? And then you clip. That's done. Let's move on to another one. Alright. We're going to get our comb. We're going to comb it. Now this is what it's going to look like when you use too much gel. Okay? See that? You got the gel on there. You see all that product right there coming out my fingers? That's how you know you've used too much gel. And if you use too much gel, you can just slide it down the extent of the lock and just palm roll it all the way down. Now, a lot of people say that it's not necessary to palm roll your hair, and I completely disagree. Palm rolling is when you roll the shaft of the hair. It's important, even though you're doing your root, even if you're a starter locker, that your hair is palm roll. I palm roll all of my clients on their second visit. So if I start your locks on the second visit, I'm palm rolling, because that gives you a head up on the frizz. Palm rolling does not mean all the way down. So I'm going to show you palm rolling one more time. You get our gel, comb. So you see, you can put the gel on before or after. You don't have to do it Bible like what I say. Okay, now what I usually do, I never finger roll. I'm just finger rolling to show you guys how you need to roll it over. This is how I do hair. Take it, I put the gel, I get my hands right where the loose hair and the lock meets, right here. You see that? I smooth, I put my hand right there, and I roll. You see how it took everything? It's not necessary to finger roll the root. You're just putting added pressure on your root for no reason. Palm roll, palm roll. Okay, let's do one more. Gel, comb, palm roll, palm roll. Now, it's not necessary to palm roll your entire lock for those of us who've been locked at least over 2 years. Just in the beginning, first 2 years, you want to palm roll all the way to the end because you will have frizz all the way to the end. Once your hair is formed, all of this right here is going to look like how it's going to look. So you really just have to palm roll up until where you see the frizz. You see the frizz stops right here? So let me show you this one. Some gel. We're going to palm roll right where it meets. Palm roll down. Palm roll down. See that? And then you clip. And that is how you retwist your hair. The correct and the safe way. Also, now you want to be very careful with your edges because you want to make sure that you're not pulling any of the hair in your hairline too tight, because ain't nobody got time for baldy boots, okay? No ma'am, no ham. So let's move on to more talking about the lock. Now, since we're on the topic of locks, I feel the need to talk to those of you that go to salons to get your hair done. I'm definitely an advocate of do it yourself. However, I do understand hair ain't for everybody. So if you are going to someone, whether it be a salon or someone's house to get your hair done, there are a couple things that I need you to know. The first thing is, do not sit in someone's chair and let them put a product on your hair, whether it be shampoo, locking gel, treatments, oils, or anything like that that you are not aware of. There's an epidemic of people not knowing what their hair is being retwisted with, and that is a problem. How do you know if it's a bad product? How do you know if your hair agrees to it? These are things that you need to know, because it can be 2 weeks before your scalp starts bubbling up and then you have no idea what it's used. Also, there are a lot of people that are very sensitive in the scalp and face because all of this is affected, and there are people that have allergies to certain products. So if you don't know what the person's using, there's no way for you to gauge that. Now, I do know there are a lot of stylists out there, and y'all should be ashamed of yourself if you call yourself a stylist, that have a problem telling people what they use. Listen, to each his own, but let me tell you this. I would never sit in the chair of someone that didn't tell me what they were putting in my hair. It's no way. I'm not going to pay you to fuck my hair up. That's just not going to happen. So my advice is, if someone is refusing to tell you what they use, I suggest saying, bye, bye, bye. I will be gone, okay? I would chunk the deuces on that ass, because a lot of people hide behind great styling, and while great styling is obviously a part of wearing locks, healthy hair is the most important thing. I don't want my hair in the bomb-ass basket weave and then it's falling out in 2 months. Like, no, that's not something I'm willing to do. So you need to be very careful about what's being put in your hair. Now, for our do-it-yourselfers, you also need to be very careful about what products you're buying. Being a product junkie is fine, but I want you to think about something. This is not like loose hair, okay? All of this hair right here is connected on the inside, but all of the hair surrounding it is dead hair. So if you put a product in your hair and you rub it down the shaft of your hair and it does not agree with you, it's easier to break this off than it would be loose hair. Now, you can comb loose hair off and break it off, that's true, but because we don't comb our hair, we don't have that issue. So the main thing that will break our hair off is bad products, tight retwisting, and not taking care of it after you dye. So yeah, those are a couple things that I just needed to let you know in reference to retwisting and locking. That is very important. There are a lot of things that you have to consider. Doing locks is not just buying, some kind of putty, slapping it, retwisting it, and go. Like, no. And if you're using black gel, don't even talk to me. X off this video. My channel is not for you, because you clearly don't want shit out of life if you're using black gel on your locks, okay? Hello and good night. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and listening. I definitely hope this was helpful for you. Like I said earlier, I'm not sure if this information was the same as I did in the last video, because I didn't rewatch it because anybody got time for that. But I definitely want to share with you things that I know for sure will be helpful and allow you to at least do your hair yourself, and if not, monitor what they're doing when they're doing your hair, okay? If you have any questions at all in reference to retwisting, feel free to leave it down below, and I will definitely see you in the next video. If you have questions about this septum right here, check my Instagram and or check the video in the description box that says goodbye Ohio, hello Georgia. Alright? And Lion says bye 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 bye. He is always up my behind.